Air was directed by Ben Affleck and stars Affleck himself, Matt Damon, Jason Bateman, Chris Messina, Chris Tucker, Marlon Wayans, and Viola Davis. The film follows the history of shoe salesman Sonny Vaccaro, played by Matt Damon, and how he led Nike in its pursuit of the greatest athlete in the history of basketball, Michael Jordan. Now, before I begin this review, I just would like to say that I don't really consider myself to be a fan of basketball, and I don't know anything about the history of Nike and its business, which is obviously why, going into this film blind, I was interested to see what this film would provide. And I'm happy to say that this was a good time at the cinema. The film had an excellent cast and performances. Matt Damon gives it all in as Sonny Vaccaro, and Ben Affleck as the CEO of Nike was just so vain and hilarious. The rest of the cast all do a great job, and especially from Viola Davis, who plays as Michael Jordan's mother, was phenomenal as always. Ben Affleck's directing of Air was fantastic. He does a great job at showing a lot of care and passion of capturing the look and feel of 1984. There is a great opening montage showing a variety of footage from films, games, politics, and of course sports. And by showing that montage is a great way of introducing your film to grab the audience's attention and interest, and just to show what type of film it's going to be. In addition, towards the production designs, the costume and hair and makeup all work very well in this film. The pacing of Air is very well done. It never drags or rushes, and it keeps everything tight and neat in the presentation. The film was very good at keeping focused and relevant to the subject matter, and it never goes off topic or forces anything, and it definitely does keep its promise. The film is over 2 hours long, and it honestly felt like a good hour and a half, and by the time its execution has happened, the film will be over before you know it. The dialogue is pretty enthusiastic, it's sometimes hilarious and cheesy, trust me on that, but I was smiling all the way through, so I didn't really mind the film's cheesiness. When it comes to the story of Air, it's one of those stories where if you know what happens, you will possibly find it to be predictable and in a way pointless. And there will be some people that will just be complaining, saying, why do we need a film about Nike and Michael Jordan for this generation? Well, in my opinion, Air is one of those films where it shows the importance of the working process and how everything came together in the end. It's all about the idea, the setup and execution, because if nothing happened from the events, then we would not have got that historical time to be made into a film, and there'll be no Air Jordans. Now, there are plenty of examples, from political films to war films. Two examples I wanted to mention is one of them being the film She Said, about the scandal of Harvey Weinstein, and the TV limited series The Offer, about the making of The Godfather Part 1. From Air and the two examples I just mentioned, it's about the how than the what I find to be more important. I also believe it's essential to show a film like Air to the present and future generations who do have an interest in the fashion of Nike, and realistically they're not going to know what happened back in 1984. I found the story of Air to be pretty good, and as I mentioned, as someone who knows nothing about basketball and Nike, I got a lot out of this film. In the end, Air was a feel-good watch. I think this will turn into a crowd pleaser. Excellent cast, performances, directing from Affleck, and a story that will now be remembered for many generations to come. I had a good time at the cinema, and based on my Letterboxd rating, I'm going to give Air a 4-star out of 5. Thank you so much for watching, and look out for more videos coming your way.